What's up, yo? Listen to me. Listen. Don't be afraid. Okay? Don't be afraid. All right? Don't be afraid. Okay? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be off. AF. Off. Raid. Off. 18. 1-8. Off. Off. Aid. Don't be afraid. Off. 18R. 1A. 1H. AH. Aid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You understand me? Don't be afraid. You can't be afraid. You cannot be afraid. Now, one may say, afraid of what? First of all, afraid of yourself. You see, afraid of yourself. Hold on. There we go. Afraid of yourself. All right? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You see, listen to me. There's this thing that's going on, and it's called positivity. There's this thing that's going on out here, and it's called good vibes. Good vibes. Okay? Good vibes. Okay? Listen. Some of us were created different. Okay? Some of us was created different. Some of us had a lineage and a heritage and blood that was shit on, that was inflamed. You see? And they grew and developed multi-million-dollar businesses, multi-million-dollar homes, mansions, estates, all upon this in the name of your ancestors. Don't be afraid. You see? When you hear people say good vibes or be positive, listen. Just listen to them. Just listen to them talk. Just listen to them talk. You see? Because there are soldiers born. You see? Soldiers born. Fearless young men and women. But they're going in the wrong direction. You see? They're going in the wrong direction. Millions of them are born with this splendid, magnificent mind. But it's being developed in the chaos of the lower realms. You see? In the chaos of the lower realms. You see? They are caught in this 3.5, and they sell their other 3.5 to these money makers. You see? What's 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 5? Is that a 0? What is, well, 3 plus 7, 0, yeah. What is 0? What is Z? Z-E-R-O. What is that? What is that? Z, 8. E, 5. R, 9. O, 6. What is that? That equals out to a 1. The sound that you make when you say the word 0, you see, is nothing. You see, until you speak it out. That's when it becomes something. You see, that's your 3.5. That's where they're making their money at. You see, in that space where they taught you what non-existence is, what they taught you what a nothing is. You see, you understand? See, this is what they taught you. So you don't search for it, you don't look for it, because they taught you that it was nothing. You see? They taught you that it was nothing. You see? Everything that lives and breathes is something. You see? You just haven't developed enough to see these things. You see? Not these bodies. You see? You haven't developed enough. You see? So, what I'm saying to you, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of what's to come. You see? Of what's to come. You see? You cannot use a lot of things out here that you were taught. You see? To deal with these soldiers that's about to come down. You see? From Yah. You see, from Yah. These soldiers that's about to come down. From Yah. You see? I don't care what you believe. I don't care what your discipline is. None of that stuff make a difference to me. You see? He was Yah then, and he's going to be Yah to whatever. You see? He is that magnificent bubble that holds trillions of galaxies. You see? That magnificent bubble is his cell. You see, it's his cell. You see? It does what it wants to do. You see? This energy, you see, that's about to come down, that was called from his servants that's here on this planet. You see? In plain sight. You're not going to be prepared. But what I can tell you is this. Understand the body of 12. Understand that body. The whole body. Just think of 12. You see? 12 illuminated lights. You see? 12 illuminated lights. All of them are one body. You see? But their works are different inside of that body or inside of that mansion. You see? Listen to what I'm saying. Don't be afraid. You You can't be afraid of what's about to happen. You see? You can't say or act or wonder what's going on in this world. And you speak on positivity. You speak on good vibes in hell. You speak on all these good things. But for some reason, you can't stop this energy. Well, in your neck of the woods, in your environment. You see, in your environment. You see that little square that you're in, that little square, you see? It's temporal. You see, it's temporal. How do I know that it's temporal? Because you spoke of the word positive without the negative. You speak negative about the negative. You speak positive about the positive. You see? Try speaking negative about the positive. Try speaking positive about the negative. And then you'll be on track. You see? That's how it works. It's called a cross. You see? But oftentimes we don't know these things. You see? We don't know these bodies. You see? We speak as though we do. You see? Because of what was given to you by Hesatan. You see? It's easy to see who gave you these things. You see? It's easy to see. So, what I'm saying to you, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of what's to come. You see? Don't be afraid of what's to come. See, what's going to happen is these waves are going to give you suggestions. It's going to give you thoughts in your head. You're going to be thinking certain ways. You're going to be dreaming in certain ways. You see? You're going to be looking at people different than you have been in your past. You see? You're going to be looking at things, different things, you see, way beyond your understanding. You see? And all the intelligent people, all the people whom you look at as intelligent or intellectual, they're going to try to open these bodies up for you and speak publicly about them, you see, and reap from the things that they say. You see? They're going to make your internal go, ooh, ah, yeah, and then you're going to clap. You see? For these beings. You're going to need protection. You're going to need protection. You see? One of our brothers made a video and he spoke on this saying, talking about crystals. He said such a beautiful thing about them. You see? But he wasn't talking about nothing that's outside of you. He was talking about the luminous crystals that's inside of you, that you were born with. You see? That you were born with. You see? That you don't know about. You see? Anytime you hear somebody tell you to get you a lot of crystals, to get you all these alternative bodies, you see? To change these frequencies. They don't know who they are. They speak as if they do. You see? You don't need these things. Only thing you need is the power of Shemesh. You see? That's all you need is the power of the sun. That's all you need is the power of the sun. You see? Don't be afraid. Just tell this body. Just tell this body to give you life. Say it. Say it. You see? Why can't you say it and you know that it exists? Why can't you say it and you know that it's feeding you? Why can't you say it and you know that it's giving you life? Look, you see that? You see it? You see it? I'm showing it to you. It's right there. You see? Say it. Why can't you say it? Why can't you talk to that power? You're not talking to it. You're talking through an antenna. You see? It's an antenna. You see? It's radio waves coming down back and forth like this. You have to talk. You have to speak. You have to speak from your gut, speak your truth. You see, leave this, your understanding alone and speak. You see, when night falls, speak. Speak inside of the darkness. Speak inside of the light. Let this body know that you know the two poles. You see, let this body know that you appreciate the rotation of the earth. Let this body know that you appreciate the rotation of the body that we call sun. Let it know. You see, let it know. See? Always remember something. The majority of us hit that egg as one head. And that tail cut off. You see? And our mother grew it back inside of us. You see? That spine. You see? Our mother did. That spine come from your mother. You see? We were inside of the head, in the ship. You see? She carried us. You see? She carried us. It's our seed. You see? You are the farmer. You see? You don't know that, do you? And you have her skin, the organ that's on the outside of you that people hate. You see? That people hate. You see? Isn't it something they attack your flesh? How they attack your flesh? This world? Isn't it something? Why do they hate the woman, but at the same time they lifting her up on certain levels? You see? In the underworld. You see? They're giving her all the power and all the glory. You see? In the underworld. You see? They're keeping her low. They're keeping her low and continually extracting her gifts. This body of Rome. This body of Rome. You don't know that though. You don't know that. You're looking at it in a whole different way. You know what I'm saying? Try your best to remember your mother and your father and you. Just hold on to that. Hold on to that. Don't talk about what things are or what you was taught out here in the world. You see? Try your best to talk about what's living. What's living? You. You see? You're going to have to come and develop a bonding session with each other. You're going to have to learn how to come together. You see? You're going to have to learn how to come together. I'm speaking of male and female. Male and female. Male and female. You're going to have to come together because it's a particular strength there. See? That they covered. It's a particular strength that you need to survive. In these realms, in this wave, you see, it's a particular strength that you need. You see? Listen, sometimes some of us can speak as if we are in our own house, you see, or we're using our own developed tools, you see. This tool that I'm using right now to talk to you all, it's not ours, you see. It's not ours. That's why they can tap in like they're doing right now, you see. That's why they can tap into what you're saying. So what I'm saying to you is, understand the body of 12. You don't have to go too far. Just remember, just use 2 digits. Just use 2 digits. Figure out all the things it takes to build a house. Just to build a house. Everything you need to build a house, a functional house. You see? Plumbing, electricity. You know what I'm saying? They cut me off, Ray. Sorry about that, y'all. They cut me off. Listen. Think of everything it takes to build a house. You see, to build a house. When you got everything inside of you and you have this understanding, you see, move yourself over to the bodies. You see, to the architect's creation, you and everyone else, you see. Put yourself in a position and see what people are born with, you see, and bring these people together. You're going to have to, whatever they're born with, you're going to have to bring them together. You see, bring them together. If it's 1 million, if you find 100, you see, people that are plumbers. If you found 100 people that are electricians. If you found 100 people that are roofers, you see, carpenters, construction workers, you see, if you find these beings, you see, and you know that they're secure, give yourself a good name. Give yourself a good name. You see? Give yourself a good name. Because you got to understand something. You're going to need to learn how to build psychologically these radio waves. You're going to have to learn how to tune them up. You see? And the tuning is going to come from, these frequencies, you see. You're going to have to learn how to dial in. You see? Dial in these waves. Because listen, not all is going to receive. Not all is going to receive. You see? Those of us that knew when it was time to call, and those of us that knew what was coming down, you see? We've been pleading, you see? We've been begging, basically, you know, and no one heard us. You see? No one is paying attention. So, what I'm saying to you, and there's going to be many more that's going to be saying the same thing to you. Don't be afraid. You was warned in 1920. Well, let's just say 1917. You was warned then. You see, the spiral is about to come through. You see, it's about to come through. Learn your ticks. Learn your ticks. You see, learn the ticks. See if you could talk to some birds. See how well you're tuned in. You see, just go to the park. Just sit on a bench and see what type of animal come up to you that's out here wild doing their thing. Just see. You see? I love you.